Welcome back, everybody, to the Dusty Bender podcast. I am one of your hosts, Chance Watson, with you, as always, your other host, Taylor Wells.
Hey.
Episode 126 coming at you today as we record on this beautiful Thursday night. A little rainy out, a little cold, but that's bound to happen here in November.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's freaking cold, dude.
it is getting chilly out there. That is for sure. Hence my attire. I'd like to say that I'm trying to knock the Kraken out of being terrible with some good mojo of wearing my jersey at home. But that's not true. It's just really cold in my apartment, and I'm cheap, and I don't want to turn on the heat. So
There you go. Yeah, I forgot to get my freaking sprinklers blown out, so those are frozen and fucked in the summer, so that's fun.
yeah, you're done.
Yeah, fuck.
That's when I was younger, I was the scourge of all rich people, uh, like built-in sprinkler systems.
Oh,
You see here, Taylor. I don't know.
fancy.
See, I don't know if you were a hoodlum like I was when I was younger, but you see, there was this trick that you could do. You'd ride by on your bike, all right, and if you angled your heel just right at one of these sprinkler heads, it popped that motherfucker off, and it would
You're
shoot this.
such a
I
badass, dude.
know. Oh my god, I was so terrible. Now,
Fuck.
now being an adult, knowing like how expensive that shit is and how much of a pain in the ass it is.
If I saw one of these little fuckers do that in my neighborhood, oh boy.
Oh
I don't know how.
shit!
Like, I don't know how I would get them. I guess I would jump in my adult vehicle and go chase
Right.
it down because
Just
like
run them down. Just run them
just
over.
fucking
You think it's
crunch them.
funny to hit sprinklers? Boom.
Well, sir, why did you feel like you needed to hit the child? Well, he fucked up my sprinkler. Okay, well,
Is that insured? Well,
we'll see
yeah.
you in
But
30 years for vehicular manslaughter.
I'm sure a jury will excuse you.
Yeah,
they'll be.
they'll get it.
It's like a jury of 12 like dads, like middle-aged dads, and they're like, "No, I get it, man.
Like suburbia dads, just like,
Uh,
the kid needed to learn a lesson.
all the next gen sneakers, the white sneakers that are dyed green from the cutting yards,
Oh, dude,
they would they'd acquit you in a second.
my fucking my neighbor was giving me shit the other day because a while back I got bit by a bug while I was mowing, so I had my fucking shirt tucked into my pants.
Oh,
I had my sweatpants and my socks.
what a look!
I had my headphones on, and he was giving me shit. He was like, "Yeah, you're officially a fucking dad, aren't you?" Like, well, don't worry about me, bro. Worry about
God,
your goddamn self.
why don't you cut your own lawn?
Yeah, go cut your own fucking grass. He's probably listening to me right now, sitting out there like, I did say
he's
that.
he's putting fucking yard killer on yours right now.
He just ran out and kicked my fucking sprinkler.
It's just splurting everywhere. Uh,
Yep.
Good shit. Yeah. So sprinkler homicide aside,
Hmm.
not that I meant to say that in a row. It rhymed. God, we got a lot to talk about in this episode.
Sure.
A lot of fun topics to cover. But first, folks, we got a few mentions here. First off, obviously, everybody, the Hockey Podcast Network. We are happily, proudly a part of the Hockey Podcast Network. Features over 100 different shows covering a wide range of teams and topics. Special guest Terry Ryan, you can jump on. He throws out an episode every once in a while. I think the newest episode he goes on and talks about filming for Shoresy season 3, which
Oh,
if you haven't seen Shoresy season 2, you gotta watch it.
don't tell
You,
me about it.
oh my god, you gotta watch it. Look, Shoresy's an easy watch. It's 20-minute episodes, 20-ish minute episodes, so you can burn through the whole series in no time at all. But I didn't know how they did it, but somehow Shoresy season 2 is better than season 1, and I probably have an unpopular opinion that Shoresy is better than Letterkenny. So,
Ooh,
and I love Letterkenny, I
dude,
really
Shorzy is
do.
pretty fucking good, dude.
Shoresy is super solid, and all it does is it continues to get even better. I did learn that Letterkenny's on its last season now.
Oh, how many are they at?
Quite a few,
Yeah,
honestly. But
most shows are like six, seven, eight.
sure.
You
I
know.
think honestly it was probably because like that entire cast has become Canada famous,
Hmm.
and it's just impossible to keep any of them now.
Yeah.
Like every single one of the babes in that show probably has either a modeling gig or another role in something.
Right.
And then, the big fella, he's a comedian on his own. Coach is a comedian on his own.
Yeah, I've seen some coaches stuff.
Fuck, Riley got a job as like the evil hockey coach in the Mighty Ducks show.
Oh fuck yeah, there you go. What a guy. What a fucking guy. No, I haven't seen season 2 of Shorzy yet, but I've seen a few clips. My favorite one right now is he's giving it to him before the game about being a cokehead.
Yeah,
Oh, that one's fucking beautiful, dude.
absolutely fantastic.
Schnurr.
Schnurr.
Fucking Schnurr. Get out of here, Schnurr.
It's really good. You got to watch it. Fantastic. So yes, but folks, when you're not watching Shorzy and you're listening to some podcasts, whether you're in your car, you're at home, wherever the place, jump on over to the Hockey Podcast Network, find yourself a show, and then subscribe to that show on whatever you listen to, or if it's YouTube. If you like to watch your podcast, preferably not while you drive, but if you do watch your podcasts, go on and jump there and subscribe. So hint, hint. Jump on over to YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts and subscribe to the Dusty Bender podcast or any of the podcasts from the Hockey Podcast Network. As I get a text message. All right, next up, folks, we've got Monterey Cafe. So Monterey Cafe, we've talked about it on the show before. We're going to continue to talk about it because they are just absolute beauties over there. Jeff is an awesome dude, despite him being a Penguins fan. I'm going to keep bringing it up because I know he keeps laughing about it. I keep going on Twitter, and like we follow such a smorgasbord of different hockey accounts. And I don't know who it is, but we follow one Pittsburgh Penguins account that like every time Pittsburgh says is playing that day, they'll get on it like dark 30 in the morning and they'll tweet out, "I regret to inform everybody that today is another Pittsburgh Penguins hockey game day."
I love that.
It's really good. It's really good. But Monterey Cafe, folks, you got to love this place. It's absolutely fantastic. The karaoke bar in Spokane, in downtown Spokane. Go on in there, have beers, great affordably priced beers, also liquor. They've got that behind the bar. Go in there, sing your heart out. And then when you work up some hunger from all that, go have a slice of pizza, which is also incredibly affordable. So can't say much more about Monterey because they're just awesome. As I look down, I'm not texting while I do this. I'm trying to find their specials because, here we go. All right. So I talked about this before. Tuesdays, Twisted Tea Tuesdays, $4 Twisted Teas and Twisted Arnold shots for $6. What's a Twisted Arnold?
I don't know, but that sounds fucking delicious.
Yeah, it does. It sounds really good. It's got that new. Have you seen that new Twisted Tea whiskey?
No.
Okay, it is thick. It's syrupy, but it is really good. Like if you do a drop shot, which this will ruin your life. I've done this. Don't do it. But if you do this, you drop a shot of this whiskey into a Twisted Tea, and it's a drop shot. It's delicious. It's so good, but you don't need anything else for a while.
I like whiskey gets me fighting grandmas, dude. Like
I love
mean on whiskey.
I really do love whiskey, but I'm the same way. For some reason tequila is my comfort hard alcohol. I can throw tequila back and be totally coherent and normal. Whereas whiskey, I like it. It tastes really good, but man, that's too much of a fun mate right there.
If I can, I try to save it to where the wife's out of town or something, right?
There you go.
I just drink it at my house. So the worst thing I do is, I just drunk call fucking Chance and shit. Like start talking shit to you.
That fucking trade fantasy.
Garbage.
It's garbage. And by the way, Monterey does have that Twisted Tea whiskey, and I've had a shot there before, but it's not bad. Wednesdays, White Claws. Wednesday White Claws for $4. $4 each.
Ooh.
Thursdays, Deep Thursday. So I'm assuming that's Deep Eddy vodka.
Okay.
And then they also do free painting, like a Pinot palette thing, I'm guessing.
Oh, like body painting?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sure. Yes. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. Go in there and ask him.
That's it. You heard it here first on the Dusty Better podcast. Body painting at Monterey Cap. Jeff's like, what the fuck, Chance?
Dude, enough tequila shots. I'm in, dude. Strip me down. Get me in there.
Friday, Flavor Friday. Ask the bar for $6. Okay, so that's kind of like a rotating special. Shot Ski Saturday, $10.
He needs a shot stick.
Ooh. Ooh, Pink Whitney shot stick. Hell yeah.
Pink Whitney shot stick. We'll get.
We could look into that. We could or make one. It's just super glued.
Oh, that's what we did. Remember that
That's
shit,
true.
dude? Yeah,
That's true. And that only fell apart a couple times.
Yeah.
And then industry night is Sunday, so the folks that are in the industry come on. Open mics from 5:30 to 8, and karaoke starts at 8 p.m. The industry special is $4 for your first drink.
Hello.
So great deals going on all the time at Monterey Cafe. Last but not least, folks, we got to give a shout out. Actually, no, this is not last but not least. We got one more after that.
Mm-hmm.
The Hub Tavern, folks. We got to tell you right now, the Hub Tavern. I think we kind of hinted toward it in the last episode, but the Seattle Kraken have now implemented a contest, and you go in, and they've got this bar. We're going to send out the bar. I'm going to send it out on Twitter right after this episode, probably tomorrow is when this comes out. I'm going to send it out there. We need you to scan this QR code. Go on there. You can win a dartboard. It's from the Kraken. It's going to be probably a Kraken dartboard. So
that's sick.
The darts won't hit the board at all, but
no. Just have pictures of your mother-in-law behind it.
You're like a stormtrooper from Star Wars, just fucking dart shit all over the place. But you can enter to win a Kraken dartboard. It sounds like, and there's a little box at the bottom that says where your favorite Kraken bar, and I need you to put in the Hub Tavern. Put that in there, and then the Hub's probably going to win something too. The Kraken haven't really elaborated that, but you know what? It's a contest, and we're going to fucking win it. We're going to win it for the fucking Hub Tavern because that's the right thing to fucking do.
Kraken are starting to seem like Michael Scott to me, where he's like,
Michael
Scott. From The Office, right? Where he's like, oh yeah, I got a big surprise for you. Yeah, we're going to a mine shaft or some shit, right? But he doesn't actually have like a fucking like a prize. So the Kraken are just putting this out, and then like eventually they'll like figure it out.
Okay, so for those of you on YouTube, this is the one side of the coaster, and the other side, there you go. There's your QR code. So you can scan that right there. You scan that, and you go to the website, and you just make sure that you put in the Hub Tavern. And when they win it, I don't know, maybe they win $1 million, and we'll share that out with everybody.
Well, I just did it. Look how easy that is.
It really does take like 5 seconds. It's not one of those like intensive things where they want like your social security number and your mother's maiden name and the hospital that you were born in. It takes like 5 seconds. It's really not that labor intensive. So
they asked me for my social, but
I think you went to the wrong website.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. So there you go. There's that. So if you're on YouTube, you can pause this and scan that QR code. We'll also throw it up on Twitter and Facebook. But yeah, we're gonna win that for the Hub Tavern. Let's rally around it and help Spokane's premier hockey bar, the Hub Tavern, win this contest and cement themselves as the Kraken bar outside of Seattle.
Here's my proof. I'm already submitted. Takes you 30 seconds. There you go.
Literally did it while I was reading the ad.
There you go.
There you go. All right, and last but not least, folks, we got to give a shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Fire Chief John Miller. Folks, John Miller has been a long-time listener, long-time supporter of the show, continues to support us in many ways through many different, but the highest probably being encouragement. The guy is always rooting for us. He's listening to every episode. Absolutely love the dude. And, despite you selfishly turning down his trade in fantasy.
I haven't yet, but sorry, okay. Johnny, it's probably coming. Here's a little sneak preview.
John gets to relive this moment when he listens to it. He's like, son of a bitch.
God damn it. I knew I hated that fucker.
Poor guy. For the fans, tell them the trade real quick because it's a one that makes you think.
It's a great trade. So I have DeBrincat and Johnny Boy has Stammer. He's also got Point, so he's trying to get rid of a Tampa Bay center. He's got a bunch of centers. Unfortunately, so do I. So can't be trading any wingers for a center right now because I got Jack Hughes that's also about to come back. So. Just too many centers, so I'm going to take a look. Johnny, don't you worry. I'll take a look and see if we can get anything done. But, yeah, that's where we're at.
Perfect.
A lot of trades in that league. We'll have to talk about that later.
We will. I mean, speaking of fantasy, Dusty Bender Podcast, the only undefeated team in the Hockey Podcast Network league.
We may never lose, Chance.
This team We'll never lose again.
Nope. It's inevitable. I mean, we're never going to lose now.
And we're comfortably 5-0 now. I know it's still early in the week, kind of, but we're looking at we're angling toward our sixth. So I think it's comfortable to say that out of a 20-team league, and the fact that we have plus 20, it's pretty good.
Yeah, feeling good about it. The tendies are starting to come around too. That's impressive.
Yeah, shout out to Neil for adjusting the league settings a little bit and making that a little more presentable, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yep. I think we adjusted correctly. I think it wasn't a ton of fight back to it, so I think people are somewhat happy.
Yes,
It's nice. It's better to see. I think Matthews had a hat trick a few weeks ago, and he had like 8 points or something, which is we're just not used to that. But that seems crazy to me.
that is. God,
So
there's
we
it's funny.
adjusted those.
Looking at plus minus in this league. That's hilarious.
Hello.
Goals 66. God, we're not even. We're pretty up there. Yeah, I haven't looked at these. I haven't looked at these like season stats down here, but I definitely have looked at the standings. So, Pat, snaps for the Dusty Bender podcast. Your boys are.
Heyo.
I'm not saying that we're the most knowledgeable of everyone in the network in terms of hockey. I'm not saying that. Okay,
But you're kind of saying that.
but I'm not saying it.
Sure. No, I mean, a lot of this is luck. I mean, our points against is like really fucking low, but it's fine.
I mean, and I don't know how it works because again, we've never been in a league this big, so we're in divisions, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if we played outside of the division, or did we just play the same 5 teams over and over and over?
No, I think we have played outside of the division.
Okay.
I think you kind of I mean, we'll play everybody. We dip into it,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's like I'm sure he's got it set up like kind of. I mean, we're close to a 32 team league, right? I mean, we got to be able to play quite a few people.
Damn near.
So.
It's like the NHL in the 70s, right?
Yeah, well, that's fucking good shit, man.
It is
97% for playoffs.
It's pretty good.
Pretty
It's pretty good. All right, Taylor, we got anything else for housekeeping? You got anything else you want to bring up?
Tip your waiters and waitresses.
All right, I like that. Okay, so first off, folks, we always start out with the news related stuff for the show, and it sounds probably the biggest headline this week was the arrest of the fella who cut the other fella in the British League.
Yeah, Adam Johnson was the one that unfortunately passed away. I cannot remember. There's people at work that are bringing this up to me, which are just they're not hockey people.
Right.
They found I told like 2 people in a meeting when I was a little hungover that I had a hockey podcast, so that was a big mistake by me.
Huge,
But
massive.
yeah, massive mistake. But yeah, apparently. And don't quote me on this. If there's any lawyers that listen to this, that's definitely not. Especially if you're in the UK, this is not legal.
If anything, we could use you.
Yeah, please come on the show because we don't have any fucking clue.
Right.
Apparently, this arrest is pretty normal for this situation in general.
It's a manslaughter charge. So
Yeah. So it sounds like so instead of like in the U.S. they kind of bring them in, right, and they haven't been charged with anything yet. It sounds like they are a little more
formal.
A little more formal. They kind of arrest them and then they can have those conversations and stuff like that. So I think it's more of a preliminary. But yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy. I mean to be honest with you, this could potentially set a precedence for every sports, every sports league. Right, like somebody did bring up in some comments on Twitter. I wish I had the shout out there, but someone brought up like this should be in their contract, right? That potential for injury or potential death, which is just sad to say, but I mean this should probably be in their contract, right?
It's a dangerous game.
It is, and it's dangerous.
I think we take that for granted.
Fuck. Yeah, I mean, we really do. And it's because we haven't seen this in like 10 years, right? I think the last time we saw something like this, there was something like this happened in the NHL, I believe like 10 or 12 years ago. And we haven't seen it since. So that guy didn't end up dying. But it was basically very similar to this, where just getting cut in the neck, and luckily there was like a professional medical person like right there and just
Mm-hmm.
sprinted out. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, the guy that unfortunately, I mean, I've watched the video. My wifey actually is the one that sent it to me.
Oh,
I've watched it a couple times. It is pretty tough. Personally, I don't think just knowing the game and knowing how quickly things can happen. I mean, is his leg high? Yes, but I mean, it's going to be to hit somebody in the neck. I think he deliberately did that? That's so hard to say.
so
It's almost impossible to do that, right? This
yeah.
isn't Blades of Glory, man. Like, I don't know. I hope everything shakes out. I mean, there was his best friend was on the bench,
Yeah.
right, and basically came out and said like, don't go after this guy. Like was just an unfortunate event. Everything we could see from the ice, just didn't. It didn't. It's not malicious. So I think there's people in different camps. I think a lot of the people that are in the camp of, yeah, it's manslaughter, it's murder, right? I think a lot of those people have never played the game.
Sure.
I think it's more, just having their own agenda is my personal opinion on that.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a really interesting, it's something to follow, because I mean, it's honest, like I was saying, I mean, there's people outside of the hockey realm that are like, what the fuck, this is crazy, so yeah, really interesting.
Definitely. And I think you summed it up pretty well. I think, man, when this first happened, I'm gonna be honest. I was a bit squeamish because I hate seeing that kind of shit.
Oh
And
yeah.
I did watch it, but it was pretty quick, and I didn't replay it or anything like that. After I heard about the arrest, I actually watched it, and I don't know. At first I was like, I was very much in the camp of this is an accident and that kind of thing, and then I rewatch it, and man, I know that they're not pros, but he's also not he's also not at a learn to skate. And I'm not saying that he tried to cut him in the throat, but boy, it really looks like they're like normally that kind of leg lift would be reserved for somebody who's losing their balance. And I just don't like it looked like he tried to clip him in the chest kind of thing. Like he tried to like if he wasn't having skates on it, to me it almost kind of looked like he was trying to like side swipe him with his foot. I don't know, but at the end of the day, you're right. Like I'm not there. This is a game where there are professionals out there that lose an edge all the time. It happens. So I'm not going to take judgment on that one way or the other. There is some stuff out there about him being kicked out of multiple leagues, this guy, so that probably doesn't help his case. But subjective stuff aside, when it comes to manslaughter, like it's the letter of the law kind of thing, and manslaughter is, I mean, by definition, your actions, whether you meant to or not, led to someone's death. So you're right. Like it could set a massive precedent of like, oh my god, if I actually fucking kill somebody in the sport, like definitely on accident, I could face jail time, and that's a frightening prospect to say the very least.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
there was an incident actually in the NHL a couple nights ago where, dude, for some reason I keep thinking it was Caden Gooley, but I don't. That doesn't sound right. But someone did get cut.
yeah,
Someone got cut in the neck, and that was, I mean, totally incidental, right? So I mean, this shit can happen. So it's just, I feel for both parties, right?
yeah.
Like, it's a tough situation. Yeah, I don't think anything will come out of it
I
personally.
don't think
I,
so
I
either.
just I think stuff happens so fast. It's the
Sure.
same thing, right? The Belmar hit, which we'll get into,
Right.
right? If for some reason Belmar had a fucking spasm
Sure.
and died,
Yeah.
right? He's not attempting to murder him.
E-
He's realistically
Exactly.
he's trying
Exactly.
to be a dick and hit him, but like,
Right. To
it's
compare it
just, I don't know,
to
it's crazy.
like the incident of our childhoods, like even the most infamous like incident where you've maimed a guy, Todd Bertuzzi,
Yeah,
like he didn't mean to fuck. Like his goal and intent was to not cripple the guy for life.
right,
You
right.
know, your wires get crossed. He's angry. He's going to run up. He was trying. Was it a dirty punch? Was it a sucker punch? Was it coming out of nowhere? Yes, yes, yes. Check, check, check. But it's he wasn't trying to fucking kill the guy. He wasn't trying to ruin the dude's life. He was trying to maybe knock his teeth out.
Right.
So, and in this case, even in the worst case scenario where I go the worst case scenario and I'm like, yeah, you might have looked like he was trying to kick him in the chest or something. I genuinely don't think he was trying to kill him.
Right.
It's
to
not.
Your point, to your point, that's manslaughter, right?
Correct.
I think there's also an aspect of negligence with manslaughter, right? Like, when I think of manslaughter, I think of essentially drunk driving, right? You're drunk driving.
That's the go-to. Yep.
That's the go-to, right? And to that point, your negligence point of that is you got wasted and got behind the wheel, right?
Correct.
So I think there's a little bit of that here, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be really really interesting to see because I mean, we just I got on Twitter tonight and there was a football hit that he could have fucking killed the guy, right? He jumped through the goddamn air and went head to head with him and was trying to fuck him up, but if he killed that guy, like, we're in the same boat here. So I think that it's really interesting. I think you'll see a lot of contracts, if it's not already in there, get added. I think you'll see a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's really an interesting case.
Absolutely. And I mean, he's out on bail now, so this isn't the last that we'll hear about this. So we'll continue to follow. Continuing with discussions on stuff in the league, it kind of almost seemed like it was out of the blue, but usually when these GMs and managers have meetings, it is out of the blue. Like, we don't really get prior warning. OT, the conversation of OT and what to do with it has come up once again. And, it doesn't, I will step away for a second and blame all of us here for a second. From somebody who's probably outside of the sport and doesn't follow this, it may seem like managers and fans just were unpleasable. Like, we just can't be happy.
Yeah.
So I get that to a degree. Like, if somebody was following this loosely, they'll be like, God, you've already changed it like 4 times. Can you just not be happy? And you know what? No, I can't.
Yeah.
That's not possible. I'm 30 years old now. Where is the happiness? But no, in any case, I think the discussion now is they want to edit it even more to the point where more essentially the eventual goal here is to have games end in overtime more. And basically, as time has gone on, as years have gone on, teams have figured out that winning the 3-on-3 overtime is largely about possession. So if you don't like your zone entry or something, it's pretty standard to curl back. You'll curl back past the red line into your zone and do another break in and try to get something off the rush. The early discussion is that they want this to stop. So it'd be like a half court rule, sort of like once the puck crosses the center line, it cannot go back. They've even said some stupid ideas like a shot clock, which I hate that. But and to me, and I'll wrap up here and then I want your thoughts, but like, to me, this is a simple answer. Just make 3-on-3 overtime 10 minutes instead of 5, and you will have if 95% of the games that make it to OT will end in OT.
Yeah.
Just give them 10 minutes, or make it continuous 3-on-3 OT. It will eventually end.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, we see a lot of them end. So, for me, Greg Wyshynski is so happy right now. Yeah. Because he wants it like basketball. And that's where we're going, right? You brought up 2 very good points that are exactly what basketball does. Half court, right? As soon as you get to half court, you come back over, you get a penalty, right?
I hate that.
As soon as you get it over half court, you have a shot clock, right?
Okay,
so
well,
we're fucking basketball, right?
Right.
And
I hate one. I really hate the other.
Right. So for me, yeah, I am much more in the boat of, look, here's an idea for you. You go to 10-minute overtimes, right? It's 5 extra more minutes than we have now. What if one of the teams goes into overtime and they go into a second overtime? Why not just push that next day's game back, right? So say they have a back-to-back, and I think that's a lot of the concern here, right? If they have a back-to-back, push it back 5 minutes. What the fuck is that going to hurt me? It's more, I can still drink beers, right? What's that going to hurt me as the fan? So for me, I see why they're trying to do it. I'm not a complete fucking egghead, right? Like I
Sure.
get it, but like to me, it's just yeah, we can't be happy, right? Like we see a large majority of the games that are getting resolved in OT. Just give us another OT, right? You know what's it's from a statistician point, like you were saying, 95% is just thrown out there. But say 75% of these games are getting I don't know if that's a real number, but you know if those are getting solved in the first OT,
That
that
sounds
number
right.
does jump up to like 95% if you throw another fucking 5 minute
5 minutes
OT in
on.
there. That's
Five
that's
another
literally statistics.
Throw another 5 minutes on there, and you are going to. It's like no one likes a shootout, and I get it. And in a perfect world, I'm John Tortorella. Like I'm skate them until they die. Like I mean, if they like one team will eventually get tired and score. Like
Right.
that's going to happen, and I understand why they don't do that because of contract obligations. Like the game's
Mm-hmm.
got to end at some point. They don't like ties. I get all of that. I understand, but that being said, it's a situation where if you just had 5 extra minutes, make overtime 3-on-3 overtime 10 minutes, you'll see maybe one or two shootouts a month.
Yeah, I mean that's the story of our lives, right? Like if we just had 5 extra minutes,
Yep,
you know, just five little measly
it
minutes.
does improve things quite a bit.
It
I
sure
would say.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I mean, we've seen this though from professional leagues, right? Like you look at, I know you hate baseball, but baseball was running the same thing. They were going into like big time extra innings on like a fucking Tuesday, and
Right.
they're like, okay, we got to get this shit figured out. So they started putting a runner immediately on second base as soon as those extra innings start. Right,
That's
so
so
each
stupid.
team starts with a runner on second base.
I hate that so
So
much.
you know, so I understand what we're
Worst
trying to
fucking
do.
league.
I understand what we're trying. No, the worst league is starting a league and not having them skate with any fucking names or
Oh my
logos and shit.
god, we'll get
But
to that in a
we'll get
heartbeat.
to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm with you. I really just don't see the problem. You're telling me the shootout doesn't take more than 5 minutes most nights, right? Why can't we just replace
If not
that five
longer.
minutes? Exactly.
Technically, like how many times? Like it's not. I know it's rare, but it's not never when we see a shootout go 6-7 rounds.
Yeah, have goalie versus goalie, right? First to three saves. Home team fucking wins. I don't fucking know, dude. Do something other than a half court fucking pond hockey. Like for me, yeah, I don't know. But it's new, right? So like I'm gonna hate it because it's new. But I don't know. There's got to be a better option. It's got to be.
As somebody who does hate the shootout, I say you keep the shootout and you make overtime. It's a simple fix. Just give them 5 extra minutes, or shit. You know what? Make it a full period. Make it a full 20-minute period. If you want to like make sure that all games end, like you'll have one shootout every 3 months. If
Sure.
you make a 20-minute long overtime period, that's 3-on-3,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
and it's first goal wins. You will, if no game, I guarantee you, nothing will get to shootout. Barely anything. It'll be like a fun fans. It'll go shootouts will go back to being the cool, like every once in a while thing that they used to be.
Yeah.
Now we're tired of them. Now we hate them, especially when it seemed like every fucking game was going to a shootout. Now like you'll get like 2 or 3 a year, and you're like, okay, this is fine. This was a good game, and this can end in a shootout. I'll be happy with that because,
Yeah.
but I guarantee you, Taylor, if 3-on-3 for 20 minutes, is someone gonna score?
Yeah. 100%.
100%, exactly.
Yeah. Or you get to the point where you just tack 5 minutes on and then you get to a shootout. Those shootouts are 2-on-1. You're gonna see
Right.
it's ended.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I agree that they need to do something maybe. Like maybe there is a little bit of a tweak. I still think overtime is still fun. I have no problem seeing them circle around. If they do it fucking 4 times
Agreed.
in a row, then yes, then it is a
Well,
problem.
that's
But
and that should be a delay of game.
yeah, sure, give them a
That's
fucking
a delay of
penalty.
game penalty. That's a delay of game penalty, and then you really fucked. Then it's a 4-on-3,
Yeah, it's three
which
on two. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
which is
I
great.
just fuck. There's got to be another option. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. But yeah, I don't know. We're fucking with it every day.
Seems like it, but it does sound like now that it's not just like fans griping. It does sound like that ownership and and the managers are actually wanting to tweak something. So here we go. We might. It's they're not afraid to do this kind of stuff with overtime. In fact they change it fairly regularly. So we'll see changes. Shit, could be early as next year.
Yeah, or just have a fucking tie, dude. I don't know.
Nope, they won't do that. I know they won't. They won't do it. I don't necessarily mind ties, but they won't do it. They hate ties.
Yeah.
Gary Bettman hates fucking ties.
He's more bow tie guy.
He's bow tie every day.
Yeah.
Gary Bettman hates ties. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
They just go all the way down to my pant line, and I don't like that.
I don't know how to tie them, so I just do the clip-ons.
Whereas when my assistant's not there, I just don't wear a tie. I just don't.
T-shirts.
My mistress. Anyway. Okay, yeah, moving on. Speaking of the NHL and their incompetence, Gary Bettman recently came out, and I thought of the meme, the Pokemon Slowpoke.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The NHL is very excited to announce that they are totally hip and with the times, and that they are releasing their first round of NFTs.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Taylor, when will you be picking these up?
First day. Is there pre-order? Can we pre-order these?
Yeah, you could go to your local GameStop and pre-order.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's so crazy to me. That's just
they're like collectible pucks or something, like digital like pucks or something like that.
Probably. I don't know, man. I saw NHL is getting into the NFT market, and I think I saw NHL is getting into, and I fucking clicked off of it.
NFTs have, and it's the perfect time to get into it because NFTs have lost 99% of their value.
Yeah, but the NHL will bring them back, Chance. I mean,
think so?
if anyone can bring them back, it's the NHL.
It's the trend-setting NHL.
Yes, 100%.
That's what they do.
Yeah,
it does make me like sometimes it's I will give them credit where credit is due. We're always do that. We're not just like anti-NHL. When they do something right, they do something right. And I did notice recently when I was watching the Coyotes Columbus game tonight, which was a great game. I was watching that, and they're doing something with Roblox now.
Okay.
Like the NHL is doing like a hockey Roblox thing, and
nice.
Kids like that shit. Roblox is huge right now with kids, so that makes sense. Like, go for that. But NFTs, man, you missed the fucking boat.
Yeah, like years ago, bro.
Right, like because people have now taken it and ran with it, and it's a meme. Like the NHL is proud to announce that we're investing in Blockbuster,
yeah,
or the NHL Pogs are going to be coming out anytime. Which what, I would collect some NHL Pogs. So
they're getting into like coal and stuff. There's like a brand new invention. I don't know if you've heard of this, like horse and buggy.
Yes,
they're pulling those out. NHL sponsored horse and buggy.
I like that. Phonographs.
Yes, phonographs are. It's great. It's like new technology.
Telegraphs are just fucking Gary Bettman's just sitting there before every game.
If you're interested in the new NHL NFTs, go ahead and send us a fax, and we'll mail you back some options.
NHL pagers.
Yes, there you go.
I like that. You know what? Gary Bettman would be that guy that still has a pager.
No, he definitely has a pager and a flip phone.
Just send me a page. Sure.
What are you doing trying to send me a message on?
What is
Facebook?
Hold on, NHL. I'm getting a page. That's 80085. Oh, that's boobs.
Oh, I love this guy.
What's next? 6969?
Oh. God damn it. Good on him for trying to do something, but that ain't it, dude.
This is clearly somebody, like, this is like nepotism. Like Gary Bettman's nephew got into it, and he's like, no, we can still do this.
He's like, Gary, come on, buy my NFT and my Dogecoin.
Uncle Gary.
Uncle Gary, have you heard of this?
It's like that meme from Parks and Rec. I've done nothing wrong in my life. I know this, and I love you.
So what did I tell you, Jimmy? You got to page me. You got to page me these NFT stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, last bit of news on here. Let's talk about the NWHL before we get into like actual player stuff. Recently, the NWHL is it? It's not the NWHL. It's the P
No, they changed it again, I believe,
again.
dude.
Fuck's sakes! It's man. You and I have been some of the biggest champions and advocates for a women's professional league, but fuck, man, they take every opportunity to shoot themselves in the foot.
PWHL.
Okay, the PWHL. Recently, they not only announced the teams that they're going to have and the cities that they're going to be in, but they also kind of released names. But in a complete display of complete and utter dysfunction, their jerseys look like they're generic shit that was printed off at the fucking local hockey shop down the street,
Dude.
and they just have they're generic colors, and they diagonally say the city name.
Yep.
That's it. They really do
Beer
look
league, dude.
they look bad. They're uninspiring. It's worse than beer league. Like I've seen
Yeah.
beer league jerseys that have more personality and creativity.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Dusty Bender beer league team.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Those powder blues.
Yeah, baby.
Gotta love those. It just sucks. Like you and I have been championing this for a while. Like we don't need to go down the route of is it the entertainment value? It's a whole nother argument. Just in terms of this, like from a business and marketing perspective, like man, it's just not a good look. Like Gary Bettman has said multiple times that he would invest into this if it made money, and this is not a good start.
They just deserve better, man. Those girls have been through fucking those women have been through so much shit, man. Like I just you can't figure out a league. Like I think like they're finally making some headway, and then they're like, yeah, we're just gonna wear like you're gonna be yellow tonight and you're gonna be fucking purple. Like you just get it right. And I think the other big thing. So our buddy Aaron was kind of talking about it the other day when he was over, him and his wife were over, and like the Riveters was such a sick fucking name.
The Riveters, the Metropolitans with the fucking or the Riveters
so
were the
sick.
arm.
Yeah, the Riveters, man. The fucking even the Pride was good.
The Pride was cool.
There was good shit.
Buffalo, yeah, they had some good teams.
Yeah,
they had some good teams.
They basically like, and I'm sure there's legal shit, right? That's the only reason they couldn't do it. I'm sure.
Because it's copyrighted.
Yeah, so like I get that, but like man, there had to be a way you could get that. Like it was like $100 more for them to buy the fucking Riveters,
right? And that's probably a lot of money to the fledgling new league. So
sure, but like man, yeah, they did just in the big like Chat GPT made their fucking team names and shit. Like I saw a lot of that online.
These are really bad.
It wasn't.
Chat GPT could do better.
There was a post. Some guy literally fucking went in there and was like, "Yeah, what does Chat GPT think that the women's team should be?" And they were better.
They were better.
It was just like, man, just use AI, man. Like you guys fucked this up.
It's really botched, and
and
they also don't have a commissioner, situation. Which is like, okay, like so there's no central decision making whatsoever. Yeah, it's rough. I am gonna bail you out on the girls women thing, because if Shania Twain says "Let's go, girls," then
all right, that's fair. I appreciate that.
It's okay. If Shania Twain says it to me, it's gospel.
My dad used to wake me up in elementary school by blasting Shania Twain's album on the fucking stereo.
So you had a good childhood.
Yeah, I definitely grew up right. If your family was not doing that to you, you didn't live.
I'd shake his hand.
Oh shit.
Good shit. But yeah, so I mean, it sucks. We wish better for them, but at the same time, there's a reason why the WNBA is completely subsidized by the NBA. Like, it's just like to borrow a line from Bill Burr, and then we can move on to this. Like, women, when it comes to women's sports, women have to support their own, or it's just not going, or it's not going to work. Like when you go to these, when this league starts going, that those stands need to be packed with women watching these games. Like it's men can go too, but like when it comes to male hockey, like it's gonna be male hockey. Like it's just how it is. So with this kind of shit, like you're trying to cater to women. You're trying to get women into the game with a women's hockey team. Women have to go to these things in order to support for them to. It's all about money. It's all about money. If the league makes money, then they'll keep doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
but having these generic ass jerseys doesn't help the cause.
Nope.
Okay, Taylor, mid-roll break real quick. You want to tell us a little bit about degenerate gambling?
Yeah, I sure do.
Or perhaps nice, convenient sound quality?
Yes, let's go ahead and do degenerate gambling first, huh?
Perfect. Tell
Bet
me
on
about.
the action on the ice with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code THPN as in the Hockey Podcast Network. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on hockey. That's code THPN only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the NHL Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2023. All rights reserved.
Every time you read the phone number, I just go 8675309.
So I gotta be honest with you. They start so in the ad read they put it as like actual the words, right? So 7 is SEVEN. That's even worse, man.
Right, it makes it more difficult.
I gotta remember how to say a number with words. That sounds terrible.
And Daddy Kyle with the podcast network PP slapped everybody. Like, you must read this.
Yeah.
So,
and even
so we're gonna read it. We're gonna read it. Like we're
yes.
following orders, Kyle. Like we can play. Like,
even the big hockey, football, all these other podcasts and stuff like that, they do have to read it too. So
that's true. That's true. So we're here. Yep.
But if you are gambling, definitely check out some Raycon headphones, because it may be too early to start decorating for the holidays, but it's never too early to start your holiday shopping. Why not take care of it now before the crowds and packed calendars make shopping a total nightmare, especially when you get some of the best deals of the season well before Black Friday. You can shop Raycon products right now and save up to 50% off because their early Black Friday sale is going on now. You've heard me talk about Raycon products before. We've talked about the headphones. There's a few others that they've come out with and things like that, but we do like their headphones. I'm starting to get ads on Instagram for Raycon and things like that, so definitely starting to make its moves. Raycon first made a name for themselves in the audio space with products like their everyday earbuds, known for delivering high quality and thoughtful features like the 32-hour battery life and a perfect in-ear fit for all-day wear and lasting comfort. In this past year, they expanded their entire business with the introduction of Raycon Home and Raycon Power Tech. Their 5-star reviewed Magic 180 cable allows you to charge iOS, micro USB, and Type-C devices 8 times faster with 100-watt power delivery. Their faucet filter ultra filters the water in your tap against chlorine and heavy metals. It's a must-have for ensuring the water you use to wash your face and brush your teeth is, actually clean. Raycon is known for delivering high quality and thoughtful features at half the price of other premium tech brands. It's no wonder their products have racked up tens of thousands of 5-star reviews. To get everyone in the holiday shopping spirit a bit early, Raycon is currently offering 20% off everything on their site, with select products up to 50% off. So beat the crowds and save now. Trust me, you do not want to miss out on Raycon's early Black Friday sale. Hurry now to buyraycon.com/THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, to get 20 to 50% off site-wide. That's buyraycon.com/THPN to score up to 50% off Raycon products. Buyraycon.com/THPN.
All right. See, that one's a little calmer.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You don't have to run through a legal notice.
Yeah.
We should have it like, in like the old shows, like where it would just run down the screen really fast.
Yeah, we'll get that implemented. Really the only thing that we need to say is don't eat your Raycon products.
Don't.
Don't do it.
And the fact that we had to say it means that it's happened.
Yes. It's like what's the pods, the washing machine pods that people were eating? Yeah, don't eat this stuff.
Raycon strongly suggests that you only put them in your ears. In fact, it's the only hole they want you putting their product in.
If we find out that there's anyone in the United States or internationally that went into the hospital with Raycons in their butt, do not tell them we sent you. Please.
I was listening to the Dusty Better podcast, and they said
it.
I wasn't even thinking it, and then they mentioned it, and now I wanted to try it.
That's
Sorry,
I put that into your brain.
About the vibrations. Jesus Christ!
Turn up the bass. Oh, jeez, Louise.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. We should talk about some hockey.
Sure.
All right, folks. Right now, the belle of the ball in November in the NHL is Patrick Kane. All right.
Sure is.
He is being courted. He's being asked to lots of balls and parties and meeting, potential suitors, trying to figure out which slipper that he wants. And if you guys love this metaphor, I'm going to jump away from it now. Finally,
cool.
Patrick Kane is trying to decide what team he's going for. We've been teased a lot by Elliot Friedman that he might make a decision this week or the next. And as rumors come in and out, we're all over the place. Like at first, it was like, oh, the first team he met with was Toronto, and then Toronto fans are like, yeah, and then it's like, hey, actually, he didn't meet with Toronto.
Yeah, didn't even show up.
Just kidding. Like he's actually not in Canada at all. So
hates Canada.
Yeah. So that's not a thing. Apparently, he's been talking with and New York is now out. That's the most recent thing that I saw is New York is now out of the sweepstakes. So it comes down to, obviously Chicago is not going to be there. So you're thinking, all right, who's left? And I've heard Carolina might be in the mix. The Red Wings have been, while I haven't heard, I think that's more of like people are trying to will it. Like it's more of like, this makes the most sense. Yet I haven't necessarily heard that he's like talking to the Red Wings or anything like that.
Right.
So I don't know if that's true or not. But Elliot Friedman has said he's been tied to the Red Wings. So there is that. I think he's also been talking to the Jets. Buffalo, obviously. He's a Buffalo kid. I don't necessarily know if that would be the smartest thing for Buffalo. So, okay, give me your thoughts of the teams that are currently in the sweepstakes for Patrick Kane. Which one actually makes sense versus which one you think he actually goes to?
Yeah, the other one I do want to throw in. I don't know if it's been debunked yet, but I know Florida was making a big push for him.
Yes.
So that was the other one that I've heard. I do actually think one of his better fits is Winnipeg. I don't know if he would play in a Canadian market. I don't know if Winnipeg is even really in a position to say, yeah, let's go ahead and add Patrick Kane because we have a team that could win it all.
Sure.
But I think just with their, Wheeler's not there anymore. Ehlers is maybe just starting to figure it out a little bit. I think he's been a little bit sluggish to start the year. I think there's definitely a role for him there in a top 6, minutes and things like that. I do actually think Buffalo is a good move for him. I think, I don't know if they're necessarily a playoff team though. I think that, that's more. It's the same thing we hear every year with Gibson. Oh, he's going back to Pittsburgh because that's where he's from, right? I think a lot of that has to do with just the bias of that's where he grew up and shit.
Yep.
But I do think they have a spot for him. So if that's something that he thinks, if he thinks that team is maybe a goaltender away, right? Like we've always talked about, and we, he hears any rumblings before we do that they are making a move for a goaltender, then maybe, right? I mean, maybe that is a spot for him. I think, realistically, I think Carolina makes a ton of sense because they are definitely a playoff team. They definitely
need supplemental scoring that they could use.
They could definitely use him, right? I mean, they could definitely use, Teravainen's having a little bit of a bounce back year, but outside of, say Aho, Svechnikov, who's struggling a little bit, who's scoring those goals besides the back end, right? I mean, they have a nice D. So I think that is a very plausible place for him to end up because of the fact that they are probably playoff bound and they have a spot for him in the top 6, right? I mean, it does make a lot of sense. So for me, that's probably his number one area. I won't hate on the Red Wings too much. I think they could always use Patrick Kane, but
I don't think it makes sense.
I don't think it makes sense either. So I think I think you probably see him in Carolina. I think Florida does still technically make sense. I think they have a little less room,
Yeah.
but at the same time, shit, maybe they are a right winger away from
I don't think
making
Florida works
a
because
splash.
Kane is gonna it's the early rumblings, and this could have been debunked, but it sounded like Kane wants a 3-year deal
Mm,
to
mhm.
kind of give him that cushion into retirement kind of thing. Um, I think the only teams that can do that are the Red Wings. Carolina could probably make it happen, but if I'm generic GM X talking to Kane, I'd be like, all right, do you want money or do you want term? You can't have both.
Yeah.
Like I like if Kane comes up to me, he's like, I want 3 years and $1 million. I'd be like, done.
Yeah, I
That's
wonder. So the NHL doesn't do. I think it's MLB that does it, but it's like a player option, or maybe it's NFL. I'm thinking of. But they do
uh,
like a player option. So like if that was on the table, I think something like that would make sense, right? Do them
sure.
for a year and then do like 2 years of player option or something like that.
Okay.
Kind of give the team a little more. Because I think they can still basically say, yeah, we're not going to do the next 2 years with you.
Sure.
So yeah, I
I
don't know.
I would
I don't know.
do I would offer him a 3x1 or 1x3,
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. Or you know what, if you're a nice, if you want to split it right down the middle, a 2x2 sounds fine to
that
me.
sounds perfect to me. I
That
think a
sounds
two by two is It's
two
if
by
it's
two is probably right.
if they are a playoff team and this isn't a team that's waiting on prospects to come back up. That's why I think Buffalo, as much as they do kind of make sense. They got some prospects in the system. I don't know if you want to take that roster spot with a guy for the next two
60
three
games
years.
left. We're gonna give Kaner the benefit of the doubt here and assume that he's fully healthy, and we're gonna actually get an older but healthy Kane. You're expecting what, 50 points, 20 goals, 30 assists, ballpark roughly.
Yeah, I'd say if it's 60 games, I think you'd be comfortable with 40 to 50.
Yeah, I think it's in that realm. If Kaner hits 20 goals, you're pretty happy about that
Feeling
signing.
pretty good, yeah,
Yeah, you're pretty
100%.
happy about that. And the assist mark, if he's in the 30 to 40s, that's even better. So,
Yeah,
um, that's what you're hoping for. But you're also, it's at the end of the day, you're hoping that he's even, 80% of what he was.
sure,
Because
sure,
if you're only
yeah,
getting like 50% Kane,
yeah, and that's why
you
that's why I
you
think
just got yourself a power play specialist.
sure, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I like what you said. I think a 2 by 2 sounds pretty
Two by two
fucking
sounds
good,
pretty good.
right? I mean, worst case scenario, you only have
I
him for
don't think
two
Florida
years
can
at
do a
2 million.
2x2 though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I think Carolina might be hard pressed just by the looks of their defense.
So then it's narrowed down to it comes down to Kane again. Like, does Kane want one more kick at the can? He's got 3 cups. It's not like he has anything to prove. So maybe he just wants to be comfortable. So if he wants that, it's either go play with his best friend or go home.
Yeah. Well, and I think if you're thinking how old he is, he's just an old bag now at what, like 36 or something.
Something like that.
Just an
He's up
old
there.
fart. Yeah, he's like close to fucking bingo nights.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Florida or Carolina sounds pretty decent, right? I mean, that warm weather, if that's what he's into.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because I mean that's the thing, is I think if you're at this point in your career, even if you have 3 cups, I don't see any, like, hockey players like to win, dude. So
Yeah.
I just don't see him going somewhere and being like, well, fucking the Sharks gave me 5 million. Like, I don't
Sure.
see him being that kind of player.
The
But
only reason he works out with the Red Wings to me is that obviously the natural chemistry with DeBrincat, but also the Iserman is we're currently he's this is our interpretation of the Iser plan, but it looks like that it's this interim period. He's filled the roster right now with 2 to 3 year deals as a transitional period to make the team competitive for Bergen and Edvinson and Soderblom and all those guys to get experience and get better and then take over the team.
mhm,
That's kind of what everybody's assuming anyway, considering they're not on the team at the moment.
sure,
So if you're like, okay, Kane, 2x2, you can oversee the transitional years of the Red Wings and play with your best friend.
and for all we know, maybe have a shot this year or next year, right? Like,
You might get some playoff hockey. Yeah, you might
right.
get some playoff
You
hockey.
might get a little
Yeah,
playoff hockey,
yeah,
and you
maybe.
just never know once you're in the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, I think fuck, it might work, but um, he comes across to me. I mean, just based on what he did last year of going to the Rangers, right? Like he wants someone that's in it and has a decent shot. And I think,
Sure.
Rangers didn't do a ton last year, but I think, if you're looking at
Well, didn't he get traded in New York? But he
um
had to sign off on it.
yeah, I think he had to sign off on it. So, I think he still had a little bit, and it's not like Boston had room for his
But in this
for his
particular
fucking
case, he
contract.
has full control. So,
Yeah.
like, he's a free agent. So, I mean, it's wherever Kane wants to go.
And his video of his hips and his Russian circles and stuff look really good.
Those hips don't lie, my friend.
That's right, Fergie.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Folks, quick announcement we probably should have said in the beginning of the show, but we will be taking next week off for the holidays. So no episode next week. So just because of that, we're going to give you the American Thanksgiving preview. We've always kind of talked about this on the show, but I want to stress how important it is now since we had Bobby Ryan on the show kind of saying that it's a good indicator. Like let's take a look. So kind of judging at the standings right now, looking at the teams that are in the playoffs. Taylor, if you had to give me, I'll go first because I kind of just sprung this on you. If you look at the teams that are currently in a playoff spot, give me the teams that you think will fall out. So I look at this right now and I say the Ducks are falling out.
Yeah.
The Yotes are falling out.
Just the Ducks.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Ducks.
Okay. And
that's
we'll
it. Back to you, Taylor.
Yeah.
The Ducks are falling out. I think the Yotes fall out. And man, that's it.
In the West, yeah.
Yeah, in the West. Yeah.
Yep.
In the East, well, shit. In the East, I think no, I would say anybody falls out. I'm going to say that the Red Wings will make the playoffs. And it's solely because everybody else is not, like, they're playing slightly better than all the other mediocre teams. Like,
sure.
I am not saying the Red Wings are playing well right now. They are just doing a little bit better than the Islanders, the Sabres, the Capitals, the Canadiens, and the Senators.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's out. Like, I'm sorry. Jeff, if you've gotten to this part of the episode, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jeff.
It's not their year.
I will disagree with you, but
okay.
just very, very barely. I agree with you. I think Detroit's.
Ooh.
I think Detroit is in. I do like Detroit, and I think they got to figure out their Tendy situation. But as soon as they do,
yep,
right. I mean, the team itself is playing well, right?
Well, and you fired Jeff Petrie into the sun, but
yeah, I know. Well,
you just put him.
That is.
You okay. You see, you find the shell of a rusty car in Detroit. There's probably plenty of them.
Sure.
Okay, and then you put Jeff Petrie on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, like he's on it. Probably, even with his buddy Sherratt, for example.
Okay. You want him in the passenger seat of that vehicle?
I want him. Like, we're gonna tell Sherratt. This is like an old Yeller thing. Like, look, Sherratt, your buddy Petrie, we love him, we know, but you got to put him out of his misery. You got to do it. We sell it like that. So, like, it's like, your buddy. Like, if somebody's got to do it, it's your buddy. So, so Sherratt puts him on the top of the car, and he's about to push him into Lake Michigan.
Okay.
All right, and then right as that's happening, Moritz Seider then comes in and pushes Sherratt.
Okay, so it's like a tag team situation.
Correct. Yes, and then they both just calmly sink into Lake Michigan.
They don't try to swim out or anything.
No, they just accept their fate.
They're just like, yeah,
They just accept their fate. They understand what's happening, and
So I love your analogy.
yes.
One thing I do want to ask you about, because you're closer to it than me.
Okay.
Why haven't we seen Edvinson yet? Is it because of the contracts that we have on the back end? Because the kid is fucking good.
Yeah, it's 100% that. We've put too much money into Sherratt and Petry in today's almost miraculous comeback of the Red Wings in Sweden. They were down 4-rip. They come back 4-4 and lost in overtime after a very cool Tim Stutzel bat out of the air.
I heard this game was fucking sick, though.
It was nuts. Sens fans were fucking reeling. They're like, here we fucking go. This is us. This is our life. No, but they were still able to pull out the win, and it was still a rusty win by the Red Wings, or a comeback by the Red Wings. But in any case, so basically, Petry is the Petry Sherratt line were like -3.
Nice.
So it was like, and they were like the only guys on those with negative Corsies that game.
Dude,
it's very apparent. Like all the stats are against him. He's bad. He's not playing well, but his contract's there. And if they do that, I'm sure. And then there's probably another thing of like Edvinson is, maybe he's got the 9-game thing. I don't know. That's a little off my radar. But yeah, I think Yzerman's just hesitant to put him on the team right now, which is frustrating because anybody would be an upgrade over this guy.
Yeah.
Like Ollie, I would rather have Ollie Mata in the lineup than Jeff Petry.
Oh, Mata.
Justin Hull. Playing. You've got Red Wings fans chant because Hull missed this game.
Yeah.
You've got entire sections of Red Wings fans going, please, I need a miracle. Please bring back Hull.
That's hilarious, dude.
And no one would ever think you would say something like that.
Dude, Toronto fans are rolling over in their fucking graves right now just thinking of that.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
So the fact that we're cheering on the fact that Hull needs to get back, it kind of goes to show that Petry's just bad. He's just really bad. Sherratt was already rough. Petry's a liability every time he gets on the fucking ice. So in any case, that was a long-winded answer. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so my only team. So I wouldn't say they're set.
Okay.
I think you have to make room for the Jack Hughes Devils, and the team.
You're saying they're gonna fall out?
No. They're not in right now.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. They're outside of the wild card right now. Yeah. They're New Jersey is out.
Are we looking at different standings right now?
Oh
my God, we are looking at. I needed to hit refresh. I was looking
Bub.
I was looking at standings from 5 days ago. Okay, cool. Yeah, wow. Okay, this is totally different. Take everything that I said back. You go because you're looking at accurate statistics.
Well, yeah, I mean it helps. Yeah, so I think if I'm looking at these teams, I think the Washington Capitals are for sure out.
Oh, agreed, 100%.
Yeah. So for me, well, okay, I hate you a little less now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that team
on
falls
my
back down to
stats,
earth.
the Capitals were 5th.
Okay. Yeah. And they're playing good hockey right now, but I think the way this team is built, and just with some of the other teams in this Eastern Conference, there's no way for me that they make it. I think if you're looking at the Capitals, I think the only team I could make an argument for that of the teams that are in right now is Detroit, but I think Detroit's actually a better team than Washington. I think their goalie situation is a sketchy situation, but everywhere else, I think Detroit is still a little bit better than Capitals. So, yeah, I think Caps fall out, but I think everything else as it is right now on 11/16 at 9:14 p.m. I think the East is looking like kind of how it should, right? I mean,
okay, so you say the Devils take the Cap spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I'm going to agree with that. And then you know what? Just to be fucking ballsy, I'm just gonna fucking go out there. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say that the Tampa Bay Lightning do not make the playoffs.
Vazzy is back, dude. He's on the ice.
That doesn't mean that he's 100%.
They're not gonna be 7-6-4 and rush him.
What if he's not? What if he's not him?
Oh, he's gonna be him, dude. It's
He's gonna be him.
Vasilevsky. He's gonna be even if
What
he
did
is
he?
a.
What did he get?
I actually don't know what his deal was.
What was his thing?
I
Because
want to say back for some reason.
okay, because if
Let
it's
me look it up.
hip in any way, then I'm gonna very much stand by my statement. Goalies do not recover from hip shit.
Andrei
As much as
Vasilevsky injury.
Mhm.
He had surgery on. No, I don't want to buy whatever the fuck you're selling. Yeah, back surgery. Yep.
Baxter.
So,
Okay, all right.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what? I'll take that back. I'll take it
and
back
yeah,
solely
them.
because I don't see anybody on here that's good enough to. Okay, Columbus is out. The Islanders are out.
Yeah,
The Senators aren't making it. Buffalo might make a push, but they're not doing it. Montreal's fake good. Uh, Pittsburgh is going to be Jacqueline Hyde all year, and it's not going to be enough.
oh man,
Um,
yeah, they are.
Phillies, yeah, it's like, oh, we're back, kind of thing, but and then they're not. Phillies fake good. The Devils, they're just hurt. Heischer comes back, Hughes comes back. Yes, the goaltending is still a problem, but it's going to be good enough.
Yeah,
You know,
their
um,
forward and decor are good enough to offset that.
yeah,
So
I agree. The Caps, I don't know. I just don't see them continuing. I just don't see them continuing on.
I think I mean it's the same thing. Caps are the same thing with the Ducks for me,
Sure,
right?
sure.
They have a few pieces, but you're starting to see some of the good teams that were supposed to be good on paper. You're
Yeah.
starting to see them figure it out a little bit, right? And so we're only going to continue to see some of those teams figure it out. So this might be one of the first years where that American Thanksgiving, uh, it might be a little more of a toss up than it has been in the last few years because
I
I think
think
some
the
of these
stat is
good.
like 75 to 80%. Like
Okay, so there's
75 to
still a
80% of the team. So
so what we're saying would make sense,
so
right?
okay, math shit. So like what 16 teams make the playoffs?
Yes,
What's 80% of 16?
80% of 16. Uh, yes. So 75% is 12.
12.8. So 13 teams. We'll round it up to 13. So 3 of the 16 teams that are currently in are not making it.
Yeah, which those are probably coming from the West. So, yeah, that's good.
That's probably
Yeah,
accurate.
yeah. So we're probably right around there saying the East is fairly set minus probably Washington, and then the West is fairly set minus the Ducks and the Coyotes, right? I mean, like realistically, you're gonna see. I mean, Calgary's actually been putting it together. I think they were leading last I looked tonight, so they're putting it together a little bit. And the Blues have looked way fucking better than they did to start the year. So
Slow start. They've it seems like they're finally turning it around a little bit.
yeah, and I still don't think you can write off Edmonton until the cows come home. So yeah, so
I really want to doubt Vancouver. Like there's a part of me that wants to say like there's no way that Vancouver keeps this up.
they're so good, dude.
I
They're
know, but
so
like
good.
it's just hard to. It's just
but to your point, Vancouver always deals with injuries, right? It's only a
yep.
matter of time till Vancouver sees some of those injuries, and then we'll really see what their depth looks like, what kind of team they actually are. So, yeah, you're not 100% wrong there.
Vancouver is my candidate to be this year's Buffalo. Like like for the last 3-4 years, like it's always like Buffalo comes out of the gate 10-15 games in, and it's like, oh, we're back, baby. Like it's like Dominic Hasek is playing with the spirit of Hasek, and he's not even dead. He's with us right now. You can feel it. And like they're like 10-2 or a good record of some kind, and then they just fucking crash.
Yeah. Sorry, Blues fans, but the San Jose Sharks are beating your ass 5-rip right now. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Okay, so we're saying let's say here for a second that Anaheim and Arizona don't make it.
Yeah.
God, Arizona, like the Ducks. I don't think I think they fall out, but like the Yotes, man, they're playing 500 hockey, which it's enough to keep them in the conversation for basically, excuse me, the whole year.
Yeah, so I mean they're gonna be a problem, dude. I
Yeah.
mean
Yep.
This is. But here's the thing, Yotes fans. This is right where they need to be.
There's
Right.
even rumors that they're looking to pick up Hannafin from Calgary.
I love that move,
Uh,
honestly.
the the word on the street is Calgary's open for business.
Fuck. I mean, now they're sitting a couple points out of the wild card. You know, like
You're
it's
six
just
eight. You're 6-8-2. Like
yeah.
it's
But I mean,
you're 2 points out of the wild card because the West is
the
garbage, not
West is
because you're
garbage.
good.
But why?
Yeah.
But why not? Huberdeau fucking scored a goal tonight, right? Like the
Oh,
clouds are opening.
the fucking team is turning around. Holy shit!
Yeah, the sun's coming out. People are running to the beach in Calgary.
The beach in Calgary.
They're
white sandy beaches
those
in
white
Calgary.
sandy. It's just
Yeah.
they're 4 points out, man. Yeah. So I mean, shit. They've got a problem.
Calgary has okay, but because our next topic here is going to be the Kraken, and you're sitting here having optimism about the Calgary Flames, and they have the exact same number of the points as the Seattle Kraken. Do you think for a second the Kraken are making the fucking playoffs right now?
Well, Kraken are out, man.
That's right. And
Kraken are out.
but they're only 4 points out, Taylor.
Wow. They looked a lot better tonight than they did blowing a fucking. I went to bed early, like, oh yeah, 3-1 over Edmonton. That's an easy win.
No, two goal lead with the Seattle Kraken is nothing.
Yeah, fuck. I guess we're finding that out.
Yeah, it's so okay. To wrap up this convo for American Thanksgiving, I think the Ducks drop out, the Blues will make it, and then
for me, Edmonton gets in, dude.
Edmonton, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Edmonton sneaks in.
I don't think that they are going to be the dominating presence that they are, because the issues that have plagued them still exist. Like they're going to get a rebound from the new coach. They're going to turn things around a bit. But that being said, they're not going to be leading the division like everybody was talking about. So,
but that's if you are a division leader in the West, that's a scary team to pull in the first round, though. Right?
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. So did you hear what Jack Campbell? This is well, it's on topic. What am I gonna say?
Yeah.
Jack Campbell is like 0-3, has like a fucking 0.85 in the AHL or some shit. He's getting absolutely fucking waxed out.
So he's just done. Like he's
done.
done.
This is probably his last season. Honestly,
Fuck.
That's such a bad way to go out, man. Oh,
Edmonton fucking ruined him.
I mean, Jack Campbell has never been.
Yeah, that's fair.
That goalie though, right? Like he had
this bad though either.
That's true. That is true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me and you know what? Real quick, as my dryer goes off.
Who is it? Hello?
Hello?
Who's there?
Really long dryer buzzer. The Edmonton Oilers. I'm not going to be 100% sure on this. I need to look it up real quick. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Yeah. So, the stats say that they've just won 3 in a row, but they just beat the Sharks, the Kraken, and the Islanders.
Sure. Bottom dwellers.
Or the Kraken, the Islanders, and then the Kraken again. So, like, are they back? Like, they're gonna play the Lightning here real quick. Who's, to be fair, has been struggling as well. They just got lit up 5-rip by somebody. Who was that?
Oh.
Like very recently, they just got fucking clipped.
They got shut out. I know they got shut out by Carolina.
The Blues. The Blues shut them down 5-rip, and then the Canes shut them down 4-rip. But fuck. Oh, and then the Hawks beat them 5-3. Yikes.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's a little bit of panic mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in any case.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look at that like Edmonton. So like, yes, are they going to turn it around, and are they beating teams they should be beating? Yes. But is that enough to climb? Like, I mean, there's teams above them that, like we said, the Yotes are going to play 500 hockey probably the rest of the year.
Right.
And in the West, that's enough to push for a playoff spot.
Yeah. They definitely, and I mean, you and I talked about it preseason, right? They're going to give teams fits, and there's a very good chance that they are right in the mix come the end of the year based on what the West looks like. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they squeaked in. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they just barely missed, because I think that's who they are.
Yeah. Sharks are out. Preds are out. Hawks are out. You don't think the Wild turn around?
So for me, I'm a little biased,
Yeah,
right? Like
same.
I had them
Same.
low. I had them low to
Same.
start the year.
Same.
I had a couple conversations with absolute dipshits on Twitter about them. So I'm a little biased, so I don't have like a good a good outlook on him. And fuck, man, Gustafsson has to figure it out. If this team has any sort of a shot, Gustafsson has to figure it out because I like Fleury, love Fleury. I've always loved Fleury.
But he's ancient.
He's ancient. You have to have that goalie that
Fleury
can.
can't play. Fleury can't play 60 games.
No, and coming into the season, we were looking. I mean, you convinced me that Gustafsson could potentially be a top 10 goaltender, right? Like he has to play anywhere close to that in
Right.
order for this team to do anything. Spurgeon's still out, I believe. So
Now Spurgeon's back.
is he back? Okay.
Yep.
So I mean, but
But
maybe.
Spurgeon stands alone.
Well, he's realistically
who's his help on the blue line?
Brock Faber. But I mean,
Okay.
realistically, right?
Okay.
Like exactly. So a rookie. So like realistically, he is more of a defensive defenseman than he is an offensive guy. He's not going to contribute to the offense not scoring goals. So yeah, they have some problems. I don't think they're. I think if you're looking at any team as low as Minnesota Wild right now, Edmonton's going to pass them before the Wild figure it all out. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yep, I get that. All right, let's end it. Let's end it with some Kraken talk here,
Cool.
just real quick. Kraken are bad.
Sure.
What are they? What's the score as we do this?
3-3.
Okay. It's not bad. So I'm going to stress. I'm going to give you the floor, but I want to stress that to start the season, there was a lot of criticism of the offense. It's like we're not scoring goals, and that's fair criticism. But it doesn't matter who the goalie is, and this is my overarching circle point of it's all the defense's fault. Fire the defense into the sun, except for Dunn and Larson.
Sure.
It doesn't matter if if we score a goal or two a game, we are consistently giving up 3 to 4 goals a night.
Yeah.
Consistently. So in order to win those hockey games, see, this was the problem. We were doing this last year as well, but we were scoring 4 or 5 goals a game. So it was okay. We were outscoring our problems. We are not doing that this year. So it's easy to be a surface problem of like, well, we're not getting the scoring. Okay, well, that's fair. But like most teams don't have to rely on scoring 3 to 4 goals and 4 to 5 goals a night to win a game.
Yeah.
Because you're spotting the other team 3 to 4.
Right.
So I'm not trying to excuse the offense. We've talked on plenty of episodes before this that a lot of guys are underperforming. Matty Beniers seems like he might be finally turning a corner. Jordan Eberle is still looking old. Alex Wenberg,
first goal
I'm
of the
speechless.
season.
I'm so speechless of why this guy gets the minutes that he gets. Like he's so non-effect. I even commented it on Twitter on a prominent. I think it was on the Kraken Twitter page. I can't remember, but I was like, if somebody could please explain to me in a logical way why Wenberg gets the time he does, like please explain it to me. And the only defense I got was he's good defensively.
Okay.
And I looked it up, and he's +1, which is on this team is mildly impressive.
Sure.
And I countered back. I was like, great, that is a fantastic quality in a fourth line center.
Sure.
Like if you have a sound defensive center, and he's not going to get scored on, great. Throw him on the fourth line, and that way we're safe while the guys who can score are resting.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy has 3 fucking assists, and he is our second line center.
Yeah, I mean, we're past the point in the NHL where your second line center just defends, right? We need that needs to be your two-way guy. That needs to be your guy that he's not a world beater. He's not getting anywhere close to a point per game, but he can't have 5 points in fucking 17
and 0
games.
goals.
Well, he has. So he just got his second tonight. I thought it was his first, but he just got his second goal tonight.
His second?
Yeah,
because I know
that's
that
what NHL says.
Oh, he scored 1 the other night, but it was waved off. So
Well, so
maybe he got it back.
they have
Okay.
missed two. Either way, right? And let me defend the Kraken a little bit. Let me defend the Kraken forwards actually, because
Yeah,
I'm not
thank you
going
for
to
clarifying
I'm
that.
not
Yeah,
going to
there's
defend the
there's
team.
not there's not much of the defend the offense and then defend the goalies, please, because this has been a podcast that is hard on Grubauer in the past, and I don't. While he's not playing elite, he's not playing bad.
Right. And same with Joey, right?
Agreed.
Um,
It's agreed.
yeah,
That's why we're seeing consistently 3 to 4 goals, regardless of who's in goal. We're seeing 3 to 4 goals a game scored against this team.
right. So I'll be the positive energy here,
Okay.
folks. We get knocked on Twitter for that all the time because we're so fucking negative. Okay, positive energy. Our goal scorers tonight against the Islanders. This will come out tomorrow, so we'll all know the final score. Matty with his second of the year, right? That's a good sign.
Warming up.
Warming up. I think that's 2 goals in his last 3-4 games, right? I think he's starting to warm up a little bit. Wenberg, it does have him as his second goal. We'll have to fact check that, but that maybe that's good things to come, right? Because that's what you want to see. You want to see two-way. You want that second line center in today's league to put up at least 60 points, right? I think that's. I don't even think anyone can argue that knows the game. Like, that's where we're going with this. Nico Hischier, right? Not everybody's going to be a Nico Hischier, but we want centers on that second line that are going to put up at least 60 points. I think that's probably fair to say.
His NHL stats page says he has 1 goal and 4 assists.
Okay, so the scores NHL is wrong. But either way, maybe
with tonight. So they did give him a goal against Edmonton in Edmonton.
Okay.
So, yes.
So maybe this gets him going a little bit. Neberle does get an assist on there. And then Yamo gets his third, and Yamo's been battling his ass off all year. He deserves more than 3 goals. There's no reason that he only has 3
because he's
goals.
finally getting top line minutes. Yes. Last I looked, Yamo was on actually a pretty interesting line with Wenberg and Schultz. No,
Schwartz. It would be
Schwartz. Yeah. So daily faceoffs is not necessarily right. I looked at the last lineup. In fact, I could probably pull it up on Twitter. Yeah. It seems Yamo is no longer a 4th liner. We'll put it that way.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yes, but to my point, these are guys that you want to see scoring, and maybe this is good things to come, right? So this is good stuff from the offense. 3 goals should win you a couple games, right? Three goals, you should win games 3-2 in the regular season, right? I mean, and that's the goalies themselves are just getting left out to dry, man. Like there's definitely you watch the games. Mm-hmm. There's goals where you're like, fuck, Gru should have had that. Joey wants that one back. But for the most part, our defensive core, even and I won't even just exclude Dunn and Larson, because they're not
even playing well defensively. It's just when they're on the ice, we can usually make the puck go the other direction, so we don't have to worry about the defensive play. Whereas the other 2 lines, the puck's going in our zone.
Right. There's not enough offensive capabilities on that bottom. Second and third pairing
to outweigh the defensive negligence.
Exactly. So, and this is what we've been saying for 2 years now, right? And it's just the defense was playing good when the offense was shitty. It's just like, why can't this all be put together, right? Why can't the pieces just fit and create a Battlestar Galactica Lego set?
Like, Dumoulin's got to go, man.
Dumoulin was the worst. He was like. There were so many other options out there. Noah Hannafin needs to be, if Ron Francis is serious and wants to see the playoffs again. You already brought up Noah Hannafin. That kind of name needs to be on the top of his list, because
why won't they bring up Riker Evans?
Why would you bring up Riker Evans into a system that doesn't fucking work? Right? This D set is, and I'm not even saying I'm not saying it's just the system. I think the personnel that they have on the back end, especially that second and third pairing, just doesn't work in the system, or these guys just aren't good. So if you were to bring Riker Evans into that, you're basically saying, okay, something's not working. Let's see if this rookie can come up and just change the entire dynamic of our D core, right?
Sure. Sure.
It's a little sketchy, but I see why you're doing that. I mean, I'm all for. I mean, Jagger Furcus is literally just running around people. I think he's playing in the WHL, OHL.
Mhm.
The kid's fucking sick. He's got 20 goals in 15 games or something ridiculous. So,
Pretty good.
so I mean, but like you don't want to bring those kind of players into something like this. We saw Wright and Winterton for a little bit playing fourth line minutes, right? Like, I think all over the place we're seeing some of these issues, and I think a lot of it comes back to coaching as much as the personnel especially on the back end isn't there. I think you're starting to see some of that system coaching issues starting to really come up. You shouldn't be 3-3 to the Islanders right now. It's just the Islanders are not good.
No,
So
no, it's you
yeah,
should.
yeah. So the D is the problem, whether it's the system, the personnel, or both. They're leaving the goaltending out to dry, and the offense is starting to figure it out, and it's just the wrong time for those issues that we've seen the last 2 years to really be creeping back up into the Kraken's game. So
Sure.
yeah, man, I don't fucking know.
It's just
it's
not
sad.
fair. It's not fair to take
It's
a run
not.
at the goalies right now because
It's
it's
not.
look, are they it's like asking like why isn't he making that save? Because he's not Gibson. He's not Vasilevsky. Like these are not top 10 goalies in the league.
Right.
These are arguably not even top 20 goalies in the league.
Right.
Arguably, like they I would listen to an argument of maybe in the teens, but they're definitely not top 10 goalies. So when you put them out there and you're like, oh fuck, why isn't he, making spectacular, earth-shattering game-saving saves? It's because they are doing what their skill level and how much they're getting paid to do is.
I
Maybe
think.
Grubauer, you could argue, is playing a little under his contract at the moment,
Thank you.
but
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with that. But
that's
yes,
fair.
yes,
But
I agree. I
but
mean,
that
you're
being said, even at 5, like you're expecting, you're for Grubauer's contract, what are you looking for? A 905, 910?
Yeah, I think you want to see him towards the 910. I think
Yeah.
you're seeing the top 10 goalies in the league are probably above 920. I think
Yep.
you're seeing that middle of the road guys that are making, you know, yeah, honestly, the 4, 5, sixes. There's some good goalies at 6. So I mean, the 4, 5 should probably be in the 910 range, and then anything under that is subpar, man. And both tendies are under 900, and save percentage isn't. It's not everything.
So
It's not the end all be all. But I mean, come on.
so top save percentages in the league right now. And I'll try to weed out, the guys that have like one star. Like right now, Louis Domingue leads the league with a .962.
Fuck yeah! What a stud! What a stud, dude!
What started one game, one win,
Hell yeah!
962.
What
He
a
should
beast!
he should retire. Like,
I
right?
would. Wouldn't you? I mean, fuck. That's a goddamn good line, man.
Credit where credit is due on this next one. Charlie Lindgren with the Washington Capitals, 4 starts, 3 wins, .947.
Outplaying Kemper, dude.
Pretty good. It's
Yeah,
pretty fucking
outplaying
good.
Kemper. That's pretty solid.
It's early and it's a small sample size. That's pretty good. Now we'll get into real stuff. So Jeremy Swayman is 7 starts, 6 wins, .944. You would expect that from Jeremy Swayman. He's one of the elites.
AK boy.
Varlamov, .940, 5 starts, 2 wins. So actually, for him having 2 wins and 3 losses, a .94 is actually very impressive.
He's outplaying Sorokin right now too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thatcher Demko, 11. So okay, probably the most impressive. Should be number 1, like in a ranking system at the moment. Demko, 11 starts, 8 wins, .932.
Yeah, he's a fucking beast.
Binger playing out of his mind. 10 starts, 5 wins, 4 losses, .930.
Yep.
Allmark, shocking. The other Bruins goalie. 8 starts, 6 wins, 1 loss, .928. I guess I could fucking just, pull this up, huh?
Yeah, sure.
God, we're so low rent. We're not used to this like fun technology. There we go. Look at all that.
Oh.
So I like this is probably where like the real stuff starts hitting me. Like Swayman and Allmark have been splitting. So that's kind of their like Demko's played every fucking game.
Yeah.
And he's at a point like this is the most impressive. Like goalie rankings to me, Thatcher Demko is the top goalie in the league to me at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and then probably behind him is Binnington, and then it's the Bruins goalies.
Bruins tendies. You got Aiden Hill up there at .928. Johnny Gibson .927.
So impressive. Like it's like I said. So, and we can end the show with that. It's we've just established we don't think the Ducks are making the playoffs. Gibby's value is at an all-time high.
100%.
You trade him now.
Immediately. I love the guy to death. If I knew NHL.com could throw Gibson on the back of a jersey and it wasn't 7 sizes too big because it's a fucking goalie cut, I'd have a Gibson jersey in my closet. But it's just he's playing out of his mind. I don't think he's let in more than 3 goals in like 6 games or something ridiculous. Like he's a fucking stud.
How much of the Ducks' current limited success is it due in part to Gibson? Like, give me a percentage.
30.
That's and for one player, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Do you want to know who the highest is for me?
Trevor Zegras.
Yes. No. Zegras is going to come back and he's going to piss a lot of people off because they came out and said it. He's been hurt the whole year.
No, he's clearly bad at hockey.
Yeah, he's just terrible.
He's really not good.
He's garbage. He'll never put up another 30-point season.
Waivers, obviously.
Yeah, definitely send him. Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude.
Goals legend. Here he comes.
I love how much people hate him. They
really do. They really hate him. And you know what? It has nothing to do with the NHL. It's because he was on the fucking cover of the NHL game, and that was it.
Which like, he
it's like decided. A curse. Like once you get on the cover, it's like fuck you.
And he decided it too, right? He literally went to EA Sports and was like, I should be on the cover, so I'm gonna.
Right. You guys see me pick up the puck a few times?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, he'll come back and be fine. I think he's. I don't know if he's been hurt the whole time, but something's been bugging him.
Okay.
And new system. It was a holdout. There's a lot of things that go into it. People just don't want to hear that. They want to just say Trevor Zegras is bad. Greg Cronin, dude, the coach, and I've been saying this on the podcast and to you and everybody that will listen. Dallas Eakins was a fucking cancer. That guy, you know, he got them through some dark years, but man, Greg Cronin is a fucking good coach.
You're just pulling people off on the side of the street. Like, guys, have you heard of Greg Cronin? Like, this guy's the fucking real deal.
I don't even pull people off. I literally just walk around my neighborhood yelling. I want people to know how bad Dallas Eakins was and how good Greg Cronin is.
What's is it more? Do you want to preach like the love and respect and how good the new guy is, or are you more tempted to just like convince people of how bad Eakins is?
So I like to think of it like the guys outside of sporting events with a megaphone, where they talk about not only how good Jesus is. Sure. But how bad the devil was.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I like to mix a both in, you know.
Sure, okay.
So I walk around with like a pamphlet of it's just an iPad of NHL.com that's brought up.
Sure.
And I just walk around with a megaphone yelling.
Sure.
But yeah, no, he's Greg Cronin. I mean, he's got guys running through fucking walls for him right now. So it's just I've been saying it for years.
He's getting a lot from that squad that should be struggling.
Yeah, 100%. They're just so young. They have a rookie defender who, I mean, if deep Ducks fans knew how good this kid was, but you know, for majority of people, they didn't know who Pavel Mintyukov was, man, because he went after the Korchinskis. He went after, you know, a lot of these guys to where people were like, who the fuck is this kid? And he's filthy. So, Gibson will be traded here within the next 10 games. I guarantee it. You know, because exactly to our point, the Ducks will fall out of that playoff spot. They're not ready yet, but they need to capitalize on his trade value because he is lighting the fucking world on fire.
Sure, yeah.
So,
I just highlighted it right here. Like this might be the most like for being on such a garbage bad team. Like good for Peter Mrazek, you know?
Hell yeah, dude.
Like
what a stud.
Almost a winning record.
He was lighting it up.
Yeah, good for him.
Lighting it up for Chicago, man.
Good for him. Who's Hunter Shepard?
Yes.
Yeah. Who the fuck is that?
Exactly.
Hold on. Let's look at real bad. Like who's star? Oh, Yossi Soros. Oh, rough.
Yeah, Sorokin you can throw in. I mean, for the tendies who we know are top 10 caliber
Whoa.
tendies,
Whoa.
Sorokin and Saros
You
are
see this
struggling.
right here?
I can't see that.
Connor Hellebuck.
Oh, yeah, that's not great. Okay, so Chance, you're giving fucking Joey and Grubauer shit, but he's got essentially the same save percentage as
It's Connor Hellebuck.
Connor Hellebuck, so they must be fucking good.
Yeah, but but Seattle doesn't have the man, the myth, the legend, Kyle Connor.
Gosh.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. It's fucking. I'll buy the next round because I mentioned Kyle Connor again on a fucking podcast.
You are. Do you have a Kyle Connor jersey yet?
Dude, I need a
You
Kyle
need
Connor.
one.
That
You
guy
do
is.
need
He's
one.
again. It's. I've been. It's. I love finding the actual because everybody's like, for what was it for like 6 years? Everybody's like, Barkov is the most underrated player, and it's like, all right, he's not underrated anymore. We all know Barkov is good. Like, I like to find the truly underrated guys that just like the last year. It was Jared McCann. Jared McCann did not get enough credit for scoring 40 fucking goals last year.
That's a lot of goals, dude.
Like, it's fucking a lot of goals, and everybody's just like, yeah, whatever. This year it's fucking Clayton Keller and Kyle Connor.
Yeah.
Again.
Kyle Connor, man. You know what? You made me a believer because I was a believer because you were talking him up and I drafted him last year and just walked through the fantasy league. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You
he's a
easily
fucking stud.
handled all
Not
that.
this year.
No, not so much.
Yep.
But here, looking at, I mean, like this is top 20 in points right now. Fuck JT Miller. Who would have guessed that?
Dude, that's the fucking Vancouver love potion right now, man.
Unreal. Look at this top 3 in stats.
That's pretty nuts.
Okay, so that could be. I see that could be an argument of there's no way all 3 of these guys can do that all year.
See, but I think I would argue the other way.
You think they're just going to keep doing it?
I don't know if they can do it at this level, but those 3 can't fall off. If they're healthy all year, they can't fall off. Those are 3. Quinn Hughes is a world-class defenseman. Elias Pettersson, we've just been waiting for the absolute dominance out of him. JT Miller has done it before. Brock Besser's top 10.
I'd be curious what their shooting percentage is right now.
Well,
because
we've got it. So Quinn Hughes is 11.1. Elias Pettersson 19.5. That's actually lower.
Right here.
That's lower than his career shooting percentage. 26.3 is very.
JT Miller is not going to shoot a 26.3 shot. That's not going to.
That's much higher than he's used to, and Elias Pettersson notoriously has one of the highest shooting percentages in the league.
So that's fine.
And he doesn't even shoot 26.3. So
sure. So that's going to go down. So it might. I'm just curious. Hold on. Who's? Whoa, Simon Holmstrom, 100% on draws.
Fucking stud.
Clem Costin, 100%. Good.
Hey, what a guy.
Ooh, Daniel Sprong, 100%. Robbie Fabry. Ooh, your buddy Garnet Hathaway, 100%.
There you go. Yeah, he's 100% so good.
On faceoffs. Ryan Reeves. Ryan Reeves is 100% on faceoffs.
Good for him. What a guy. God, get him on any team.
Oh,
minus 11, 14 games in.
Just in case you're in the camp of thinking that face-off win percentage was really important, look at these names that are 100% and tell me if these guys are like vital to your team.
What's funny is even the analysts on like NHL and ESPN are starting to look at how face-off win percentage actually doesn't really matter.
It's weird.
Yeah, they're
weird. It's almost like it's a random fucking thing, like it's a pinball machine.
Yeah, because you can win that face-off and still fumble the puck, and they can walk in and go score. Like, it's crazy what a 180 that stat has done. Because it's, do you want to win face-offs? Yeah, 100%. But to be an 80, 75, 80%er doesn't matter really in the grand scheme of things.
Right. Exactly. So we kind of got into stats, which we weren't actually planning on doing, but we did it anyway. Fuck it.
Sure. Let's get out of here, huh?
Yeah, let's get out of here. Folks, We appreciate it. You guys got a little extra bonus coverage there. Went 14 minutes over what we were actually planning on doing. But you know what? Sometimes when we're on a roll, and we just got to talk more hockey. So you got extra. So congratulations. Have fun with that. Remember, folks, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Please subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and then we're on social media. We're active on Twitter and Facebook, so follow us on there. And yeah, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you not next week, but the week after.
Look out for our OnlyFans.
That's right. It's on its way.